My name is Wanda Boyd. I'm the mother of Quincy Cross. I live in Lake County, Tennessee.
Do you remember the moment you found out that you were pregnant with a baby boy, whom you two later named Quincy Omar Cross?
Yes, I do. It was probably in the early March, and I remember having Quincy in September the 2nd, 1976. That's when I had Quincy.
How did you and David come out with picking his first and middle name?
Well, David didn't really want to name him. My mom did the naming at that time, and we named him Quincy Omar Cross because we liked to look at Quincy on the TV, the doctor. We used to look at that, and she got the name from that.
Do you remember how you felt when you delivered that baby boy?
Oh, yes. I was really exhausted, but I was more sleepy than I was having a baby. And I was just glad I had a boy.
What was Quincy like as a baby when it came to eating, sleeping, crying?
Oh, he liked to eat all the time. He liked to fried chicken. He loved fried chicken. And every time we turned around, we had to go buy chicken for him. And he liked hot dogs. He think he a chef now. He know everything about cooking. Because his grandma, between me and his grandmama, that's what we taught him, how to cook and stuff.
How would you describe Quincy's younger years when it came to his behavior, relationships with family and friends in school, ages, say, 18 to 17 years old?
Just outgoing. He was in basketball, football, you name it, he was in it. He got MVP in junior high. When he was in junior high, he played football, and he was All-American.
What position did you play?
Fullback, I think.
Did you ever have any trouble with Quincy at home, whether it was behavior at home or in school?
A little bit, because he always went where his daddy was, and to come back, got to do a rechangeable. Because he was a little baby boy, and everybody liked to mess with him, and he just fall out laughing at him, picking at him, and stuff like that.
Can you think of any incidents from Quincy's childhood that might have been traumatic for him?
No, I don't think of nothing like that. He liked to go fishing.
How was your relationship with Quincy from teenage years as he grew into a young adult?
Oh, well, he grew up as a young adult. He was just in and out of the house all the time. He was coming home, want to cook, and then he'd leave again and come back. I didn't have no problem with him when they was high school kids. I didn't have no problem with them. We come home and we have a little dance party on Fridays. And I turn on the radio and the music come on, all four of my kids would just go dancing. And Quincy was, he thought he really was it. He would break down numbers, ones and twos, them legs be up in the air. Just had a good time with Quincy. He stayed in Union City most of the time with his daddy, because daddy was crazy about him. That was his boy. So we had a good time when he was about that age.
So, although you and Quincy, you were living in Tiptonville at the time, right?
Right.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. Although you and Quincy were living in Tiptonville, Tennessee in July 2000, do you remember anything on the news or reading about the murder of Jessica Kern in Mayfield, Kentucky?
Well, I was sitting at home one day and the picture came up on the TV that a girl had got killed. But we didn't know that Quincy had anything to do with it. Well, Quincy had called home all night, that Friday night, and that Saturday, I think that's what it was, that Saturday, he called and told me that he was in jail. I said, "You in jail?" He said, "Yes, Mama, they got me in jail for residue bag." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll be to see you Monday." That Monday came. So when that Monday came, I with me and a lady that lived by me, she just passed last month. We went to brought to Mary, and when we saw Quincy said, "Mama, they trying to accuse me of a murder." I said, "Huh?" I said, "You ain't killed nobody." He said, "That's what they saying. They're saying." I said, "Well, Quincy," I said, "Maylene, do you hear that?" She said, "Girl, Quincy ain't killed nobody." I said, "I know he ain't got. He got sisters his own self." And from that, we just got upset and stuff. I said, "I can't believe it." And I asked him, I said, "Where is your clothes at? Why you ain't got your clothes on?" They took his clothes. Never gave him back to him. I had to bring clothes from home when I got ready to pick him up. And that's about it. That's how I heard about it.
I know it's going back 22 years, but do you remember about what time of the day Quincy was arrested on July 30th?
I don't know. Not exactly, I don't know. I know what they say, but I don't know what time it was. It was in the morning, I guess.
Were you ever contacted by any law enforcement agencies from
No.
2000 to 2006?
No. They came by my house and said, we're going to arrest Quincy for a murder. If he did do it or didn't do it. And then they went through my house and they said, where you get this furniture from? I said, huh? I bought it. They said, the detective said it. They said, I don't know his name, but he came in and I told him to come on in. And he said that, yeah, we come to get Quincy. And I said, come get Quincy. So Quincy got in the car with him and left and went to the jailhouse with him. Then I told my kids that they said Quincy had killed somebody. And they couldn't believe it neither. They didn't believe it neither. So, it was kind of hard to swallow. So I got on the phone and called my mom and told my mom that they accused Quincy of a murder. And I said, we got to do something. So Quincy got out of jail for a little while, but he had to go right back. So because he had got a job on the railroad. And then he worked him and Corey worked about 2 months, 3. And next thing I know, he was going with those boys. And they were in my mama's yard. They were gone with the boys. The boys came by the house and picked up Quincy. And so, other than that, I couldn't tell you.
So this is kind of going over what you just said, but we'll get you talking a little bit extra. So, do you remember the moment Quincy was arrested and charged with the murder of Jessica Kern? And were you present during his arrest?
No. Quincy was in Mayfield. He was somewhere with his girlfriend, and he called me on the phone. And he said, "Mama, they looking for me for a murder." And I said, "Quincy looking for you for a murder?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "They still trying to pin that on you?" He said, "Yes, Mama." He said, "I don't know if I want to turn myself in or not." I said, "Go and turn yourself in. You ain't did nothing. Don't worry about it. Go and turn yourself in." So he said, "Mama, I can't turn myself in. I don't know how to go about doing it." So when he called me, he hung up and he called me back. And I told him to go and get somebody to carry you to the thing. So he called somebody. And he was a policeman. And he told him to take him to Paducah. They took him to Paducah. And that's where we started going to see Quincy. In Paducah when it first started happening.
Was there any part of you that thought Quincy might be responsible for this crime when he was arrested, or even after he was convicted for that matter?
For one thing, Quincy, I don't know. He just wasn't thinking about that. He just trying to get himself out of jail. And we were weird, and my heart was racing. And I just don't know how I could be.
Did you have any communication with Quincy's legal team while he was on trial?
No, they didn't call me neither.
Did you attempt to reach out to them, or did they?
We tried to talk to them. They told us don't say nothing.
What did you offer to help them out in any way, whether it be testifying? Or
Yes.
What was their reasoning for not wanting you guys to do anything?
I don't know. We didn't find out. They had a Bible in the courtroom, and they were stopping people from going in and out of the courtroom. So we couldn't do nothing but just sit there and watch them, and couldn't say nothing. We couldn't say a thing. We just sat there and listened to what they had to say. We couldn't say anything. Because they said if we say anything or get into it with the family, that we would be going to jail.
What was your overall reaction after Quincy was convicted and received an inevitable death sentence in the state of Kentucky?
Oh, that was horrible. It was a horrible day for me. I couldn't cry. I couldn't do nothing. My nerves were bad. My mom, she was all upset, and I was upset. We didn't know what to say. It was just horrifying to know he was in there for something he didn't do.
Did you get to speak to him or hug him or anything before they took him away?
No, I did not get to speak to him or nothing. I spoke to him. I went in the room. They called us up one time. And I said, Quincy, I know you didn't do no murder. I said, but you got to do right and tell the truth. If anything you had to say, you say it now. So he went. So they come and got it. They wouldn't let me stay in there with me but 5 or 10 minutes. Then they came and brought him back out. And so I didn't get to say too much to him at all, hug him or nothing.
Did Quincy ever say if he was, scared or, worried while he was on trial?
He was scared, but he wouldn't let us know he was really scared until they sentenced him. Then we know that he was upset and worried about stuff then. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what his reaction was in court?
He just hold his head down, shook his head. That's about all he did. We got to talk to him in another Benton, somewhere in the jailhouse. We went to see him that Friday, the next Friday, and we were saying, you all right? Whatever you need, we got you. And that's all.
Have you ever had any type of harassment related to this case from anybody?
No. I live in Lake County, and ain't nobody around there doing nothing. So we didn't have nobody to mess with. But I can tell you this, now policeman came to my house, and he would get out of the car and have some binoculars and watch me while I was outside in my yard. And I said, what is he doing over here? I said, I guess he's looking at my dog, Kilo. And because my dog was worth $500. I had one of them husky dogs. And the man would come every day. Come every day. And then I saw him in court. And when he saw me, and I recognized him, he turned red as a beet. And I said, Lord, that's the man who was coming to my house right there. And he got on the witness stand, and he looked at me and just turned his head away, and was talking against Quincy.
How many instances do you think that happened?
Well, let me tell you, it lasted about a month. Because I thought he was after looking at my dog. And my dog was in the backyard. But he kept doing it. So I was putting my clothes on the line one day, and I went to walk up there to see what he wanted. He jumped in the car and he left. A truck left. And then the little detective, they came down, a little smart young guy. He came by, say he came from Jackson. I said, you from Jackson? I guess it was Jackson, Kentucky. And he said, Quincy been in a wreck. I said, no, Quincy ain't been in no wreck. He said, well, do you believe he had a wreck? I said, no, I don't believe he had a wreck. And he said, I'll be back over here in a minute. And he never showed back up. He never showed back up.
Do you happen to remember either of their names?
No, I don't remember the name. It's been so long ago, I didn't remember the name.
If you saw a photo of either of them, do you think you'd recognize them?
Yeah. Now I can recognize people born, I can see, by their name. Well, I can tell you this. I love my son, and I know he didn't do it. And people in half of Lake County believe that he didn't do it. That's where we come from. They always ask me about him, and I had to tell them that. And then I had to tell them in the church, in different places. They asked about how Quincy doing, how he doing. I tell them he's doing all right. We just want him to hurry up and get out, if it's possible. I know my son did not kill Jessica Curran.